Hello everyone! This video is a step-by-step guide in writing scientific notations. Let us consider this example. To write this in scientific notation, we need to determine first the number of significant figures. Take note that all non-zero digits are considered to be significant. Our next step is to move the placement of the decimal notation to create a numerical figure with no more than the units digit. By moving it, we can write now the scientific notation and take note that the movement of decimal decides the signs of the exponent. Lastly, we need to check if the significant figures are retained. We still have 4 significant figures, therefore our scientific notation is correct. Let's consider another example. Same processes will be followed. Number 1, we need to determine the number of significant figures. Take note that the leading zeros are non-significant. In short, we only have 2 significant figures. Next step is to move the placement of the decimal notation. The movement is going towards the right, and as therefore, the exponent of 10 is a negative number. And finally, we need to determine if the significant figures are retained. Our scientific notation is correct. We also need to write the standard forms, the real numbers given with scientific notations. In short, we are going to do the reverse operation. But first, let us still determine the number of significant figures. The leading zero is not significant, but since there is a presence of a decimal notation, the trailing zero is significant. We have 3 significant figures. Next step is to move the decimal notation. It corresponds to the exponent of 10. We move it to the right because the exponent is positive. Now, let us start writing the standard form of real numbers. Let us add digits of 0 if necessary. Step 4 is to determine whether the significant figures are retained. However, the trailing 0 here is not significant. How do we make this significant? We need to place a decimal to make the trailing 0 significant. In that way, the trailing 0 will be significant, and we have retained the 3 significant figures. Final example. We have this scientific notation. We still first need to determine the number of significant figures. We have 2 significant figures here. Next step is to move the decimal notation. And since the exponent of 10 is negative, we move to the left. We complete our standard form by adding digits of 0 if necessary. And finally, we need to check if the significant figures or the number of significant figures are attained. Leading zeros are non-significant, and the remaining non-zero digits are significant. Therefore, we have retained the two significant figures, and the standard form that we have created out from the scientific notation is correct. These are the basics in writing scientific notations and vice versa.